heroes.
Because they're running Disruptor for VP. It's not the strongest laning hero. Enchantress can collapse on that, punish it a lot.
Yeah,
But if I'm
But you don't think it's something that they're
I
comfortable
mean,
with.
Enchantress is definitely a very good hero in the current patch because of the jungle. You spawns every minute and a lot of focus on the lane.
But if we saw Enchantress in this next game, I'd rather it was in the hands of Lil, just to see what he can do with that again. Some mad micromanagement skills. With that said, I do think that the Clutch gamers have kind of been written out of this one by this desk. Is that the right vibe I'm reading here? You guys got hyped. You know, you gave us. You sat on the fence. Actually, LD went straight fence on that one.
And I'm still reeling from that, so I'm just not moving. I'm certainly not going on the other side of the fence.
No. Okay, so perhaps a seed of doubt after that first game. Our draft has begun, though, and we can play recap. We talked whether or not Clock will be taken away, and it does seem that actually it's a VP ban this time.
VP really value this hero.
It's because Clutch had first pick, so they
immediately take it away.
I mean, that tells you a lot itself. They are valuing Clockwork very, very highly.
Yeah.
They first faced the hero, and now their second pick, they banned the hero. And like we suggested, Clutch gamers, they needed stronger lanes, so they went for Legion Commander, better lane presence. You're able to do more by staying in the lane, so good switch up.
Yeah, this is nice from VP too. Like they take the troll, which also denies it to Clutch, as they weren't able to ban it.
And we saw that as a trend in their most recent matches.
So, bit of a block pick, perhaps. They do go for the tree. Interestingly enough, not something VP has been known for running that much of, but it is a very strong hero in the patch. So
I mean, I'm not sure about the troll though. I'm personally.
It's a block pick, right? Like it's not a go-to VP hero.
Yes, and the hero. I don't feel the hero is that good in the meta. Like because the thing is, like, the hero needs to farm a lot, and in some games I feel like you're not allowed to farm a lot, and as a carry role you're required to fight a lot. That's why you see, like, the Timbersaw in the last game, he went for all those cheap early game items to fight. So it'll be interesting to see how the troll is gonna do this game. Is he gonna get pressured a lot in the lane, or he's gonna be able to do well?
The other thing we've seen with the troll picks is, like, even when he has gotten a lot of farm, sometimes he just gets kited all game. There's we've seen a lot of, like, Clockwork comes to mind, Tree, another hero that's really good at kiting him. A lot of those heroes are popular right
LC is pretty good, I would say, against troll. You get Blade Mail, Dagger, you're gonna be able to duel and kill the troll.
And that's where Tree kicks in. You've got Living Armor to protect Overgrowth, but
another thing with troll is some of, like, the old, like, it used to see him picked a lot for synergy at the battle trance, but there aren't all that many just, like, right-click specialists. The Bash Lords are kind of dead.
Battle Trance Train Protector.
Oh, yeah. If only it was a percentage-based chance to root. The dream.
I mean, they are removing Jakiro out of the pool in the second phase.
What's the thought process?
I would say
they have Living Armor.
I mean, they have Living Armor, and I would say recently there's a lot of teams that have been picking the hero, with some with a lot of success, some with a little success. The hero has been, like, up and down, but he's really good in the patch, I think. From what I see in situations where you have this one hero that can push the towers alone, because they actually made pushing towers alone much stronger compared if you're pushing alone compared to a team that's pushing with 3 heroes, you're gonna be able to push faster because of the armor.
What do you make of the Kunkka pick from Clutch? We didn't really talk too much about it, but
they picked it.
Yeah, they picked it pretty early.
I mean, it's a good, like, a position for a hero. You roam, you have good team fight, you have good setup, you have good follow up for the duel. It's not instant, like, high DPS damage, but it still works pretty well.
It's also really good against Disruptor if you play it right. VP haven't shown that yet, but we have seen, like, some hard.
I mean, that's like a bonus, right? If he glimpses your teammate or he glimpses the Kunkka, then you X-mark yourself and you pull yourself back after the glimpse. But they are banning out the Lina next. Just good laners. Clutch gamers, they removed the Ember in their second phase ban. Like, one of the heroes that no one likes to play to.
It's really hard to ban out Noah, though. He's quite a wide hero pool.
It's going to be tough because he does have the. If they want to use that last pick, they can pick his hero last, and they get the counter picks in the mid lane.
If anything, right now for VP, you want to have, like, a Lifestealer or Juggernaut, because you're against the Kunkka. Like, those heroes would be really good against X-Mark. You can use your innate BKB to run away. That's usually what teams do against Kunkka.
Despite some slight nerfs to IO, still cropping up 100% in the bans so far.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe it was a buff in the end, like Gods said.
Yeah, Gods, he solved it.
Gods was right, guys.
Reserve.
Sand King.
There he is. He featured in the bans last time. Now Sand King will be drafted by VP.
That's pretty interesting right now. They might actually do the dual melee supports, Trion and Sand King. Like recently, we've seen a few teams that like to run like double melee supports. It's quite strong in certain games.
Against the melee offlaners, I think that's where the Trion as like a 5 position is really good.
Oh, this hero got a lot of buffs in the most recent patch.
Soul Catcher and his poison. And the thing is, like your ultimate, you can actually remove all the living armor.
Also, Purge and Disruption, both really good against Troll. He wants to run on a target and focus them down, so and this allows you to kite him.
They're showing their hand right now. They went for the Chen pick. They're going to be very heavy in the push department right now. Trion, Chen,
This
Troll.
also blocks a lot of that like Kunkka teamfight damage with the mech hand as well too. Makes Shadow Demon's life really tough against this kind of push-oriented strat.
A lot of players do not believe in Chen, though. They
Where's the doubt
from?
I think Chen
because if you mess up like one fight in around like what the 15 to 20 minute mark, then all of a sudden you just don't feel very useful.
I still think Chen is really good right now, based on the meta. My feeling. And right now they have the Sand King Chen, something Na'Vi used to run a lot. Sand King plus Chen or Sand King
Perhaps
plus
the
Chen.
influence of art style.
Yeah, I mean it's really strong in the lane. Like you just bring a creep, you go to the Sand King's lane. He stuns the support. The creep runs in, and you just get a very easy kill.
Their lanes are actually quite scary, even though it looked like maybe double melee support with the Tree Sand King. Like Chen and Tree, Troll's a pretty decent laner in most scenarios, so those two supports can easily win the lanes for them.
And Troll plus Trion is a pretty strong lane, unless the LC has some help from the supports. So right now, it's going to be pretty worrisome for Clutch. How can they deal with this Chen? Because usually when you're going up against Chen, you want like a CM, Witch Doctor, like someone that can kill the creep easily with a spell, but right now they do not have good tools at dealing with the creep.
Or like at least super tanky supports that can save you.
They're not going to be able to fight the Chen head on, so they have to like maybe block his camps and try to maybe level 1 you smoke and try to get a kill in the mid lane because you have a Queen of Pain mid lane. You need to try and roam and not fight the Chen head on, or you try to block his camps and kill him first.
Yeah,
we talked about what happened mid lane last game, and they're going to adjust and like
this is a hero that can fight early and can also shut down the push. If they get to level 6 on the gyro, you've got Kunkka boat later. Legion's got good spam, so I think Clutch may be a little worried about the early fighting and also just the push potential of VP, but they have a lot of wave clear now.
Very old school, Kunkka and Gyrocopter. You have 2 very short cooldown ultimates, so you're going to be able to fight a lot.
Their team fight is like infinitely better compared to game 1.
Yeah, but
if they get to that point, but that is the question against Tree and Chen.
It's gonna be very important that they deal with the Chen. If they don't deal with the Chen, the lanes are gonna suffer and their timings are gonna be off with their heroes.
Well, Alex, you wanted the Lil Ench, but this is perhaps almost as good.
Yeah, that works for me.
You just like those micro skills.
I know.
Do you spell it with a Z? Are you that kind of
as a small Z and a capital Z? Yeah. Get it right.
Me.
You gotta get it right, mate. If you saw the puck taken away, you know there was a premonition from gods that puck would be featured at least in some way in these games.
Other no-one heroes. Storm, Ember.
He knows what he's going up against.
Storm's like the only. Shadow Fiend is another hero. Obviously, we just saw him play. But
Shadow Fiend is pretty decent here with their lineup, but he might have problems with the roam because Shadow Demon and Kunkka can roam him easily.
That's where I think they set the mid lane for success. You pick this Queen of Pain, ban the hero that matches up well against it and doesn't get roamed on, and now you limit what he can play. But may opt for like a, I don't know, defensive type hero like a DK.
Yeah, DK is okay with their lineup. DK Chen.
DK Chen is like a classic duo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of magic damage, so I think they can still deal with a DK, and also will have a good time mid.
Yeah, it's like less about they know they can deal with a DK. It's more about how it fits VP's draft, I think. And it's here you don't care if he's not like he's not meant to be owning the game necessarily.
Yeah,
I kind of still like Juggernaut.
Yeah, I was about to say Jug too, but I was like, are they gonna Jug versus Quap? But I think they could. Doesn't get roam. You've got Blade Fury.
Yeah, it's hard for them to kill you, and maybe the Chen can send a creep over to help you out early.
Okay.
But there's
a long decision.
There's no one good pick here for them.
Good call on the DK.
Round of applause for gods.
That's
push it is for VP.
This is like a no-one hero he used to play a lot of with the old VP that was pretty dominant. He really liked that DK mid, just group up as 5, push down towers in the mid game.
It feels really weird now we've lost the drum music. I was really getting into that now. Yeah. Draft is done, and you just said the key word for VP's draft is push. You said that before the DK. Is it just the cherry on top now?
I mean, you pick a Chen, you're going to try to...
That's what it has to be.
You're not going to try not to push. You know, if you don't want to push, you're not going to pick Chen. So basically, the idea is they're going to try to win their lanes with a Chen, which is very likely at this point, and try to snowball and pick towers.
It happened once. It could likely happen again. Lose it.
But this game clutch has much better heroes at dealing with it.
Okay. So you're giving them more of an edge. If I asked for odds, because I know it's going to be majority VP, but if I asked for odds in this game, what would you give?
Just based on draft, I think both sides can win with their drafts.
Okay.
I like clutch a lot better this game. Only real concern is they just get completely steamrolled in the lanes. But if they even have like an okay time of it, maybe a smoke gank works with the Shadow Demon Kunkka, lots of kill potential there. They have huge team fight, huge deep push, much stronger mid game. I think they can come back a lot better. So I like clutch this game.
Some old school combos coming in through that draft. I know that put a smile on your face. What's your expectations though, David?
I think Shadow Demon's still, even with the buffs, a pretty weak hero. I think their supports are going to struggle with dealing with the Chen. So I'm going to stick with VP, but I definitely agree. The big picture for Clutch Gamers, they have better lanes. The mid lane Quap matchup is better. The Legion command for the offlane, I think Clutch Gamers have adjusted well, but it's VP. So.
It's VP and it is offline. A team that have thrived online in some of the qualification processes for events coming up, this one included. Now they have to do it offline. Back to back with a team of such grandiose achievement as Virtus.Pro, and they could fall in two here. Virtus.Pro going up against Clutch Gamers right now with the casters Toby1 and Malini.
That's some big words from Machine. I want it simple, Ben. I want it really simple. Who wins game 2?
I will say VP.
You say VP? You believe in the power of the push?
I believe in
the power of VP.
I am worried about the Quad vs DK matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing that as well, long before Gods actually threw that one out there. But talking about like the fact they needed
what
something
exactly are you talking about,
Toby? Push. I don't know what I'm talking about, Merlini.
I'll give you this opportunity to pat yourself on the back.
Okay. Well, yeah, like 3-4 picks before they actually said it, I called DK in the mid.
Yeah, don't throw the we in there. It's just you. Give yourself some credit. Hey, where credit's due.
You're my mentor, man. You're my mentor. Between you and Winter is predicting drafts. You come very close second, but you are mentor. Yeah, but the DK pickup. So why doesn't this really work for DK? Like, what gives Queen of Pain the advantage normally in this lane?
Firstly, it's Queen of Pain versus melee. That's just awful. She just has very high base damage. She can slow you, so you can't actually get up to her. She has blink, so you don't really have that much interruption in the lane. It's just all around just awful. Better rune control.
I don't know if this is going to work beautifully for Rappy. There's a lot of slow. Solo's Fist do a lot of damage with Orb of Venom plus the 93 base damage he has. Top lane, SD, well, we're waiting for this to happen. Nice and aggressive. Pasha has no escape on this lane. He went for Caustic at level 1 to try and do as much damage to keep CG off him as possible.
They just don't have enough damage. Yeah, as you mentioned, the
Radiant Courier also just got sniped out. There was nothing on it, but it was just back behind the tier 1 tower, so Queen of Pain was able just to get that hit. Not a good thing when it's bringing out the south for the DK.
Oh, you want to make this matchup even more hard?
He at least got the regeneration, because he's still got another 4 Tango charges up his sleeve, and it's going to take until the Courier respawns before he's got the money for his bottle. Where the Queen of Pain's going a little bit of a different route. So she's still got she just burnt one of her consumables then, but she's bringing a second null talisman out. Why would she get the second null over getting something like the bottle?
Nice. Second null is way more common now. Just because of, I think you generally, the laning phase lasts a little bit longer and bottle keeps getting nerfed in terms of how much it gives you for regeneration. And yeah, you just need more lane control, I think. I've been seeing it a lot. Like, it's almost always double null over bottle.
Solo is actually in a little bit of trouble. That troll is doing a lot of work. It's one more hit away from death. It's got one trap left in it, however. But Lil was trying to battle for the rune. The torrent is able to connect. I don't know if they have enough damage for this. With the catcher, it has gone out. Damage wasn't really split. Disruption again. There's no torrent to follow up. The troll will finally be brought down. There's just not enough mana. He's short by 10 for the Kunkka to hit another torrent off. So Solo will try and battle up against the imposterous name of Fly Solo.
Oh,
no one. That blink forward. So close to death. No one would have enough life, and he doesn't have enough damage either. Thanks to double damage of the Queen of Pain, who drops down to 20 HP. Leech Seeds taking away a little bit more life out of Fly Solo, but no point up in living armor there from Solo. He went for the 1-1-0 build.
definitely more common.
Yeah. Just problematic when you're trying to keep your DK alive.
Let's see, no one could potentially get... Oh, no. Bottle just came out for Armel, so no kill there.
You were thinking about the level 2 Breathe Fire having enough damage to pop the Corp.
It would have if she didn't have her bottle. But she's going to need, I would say, the Bounty Rune and another rune to stay around in lane. She's still pretty low. And DK does have a fair amount of regeneration, and level 2 Shadow Strike, especially with this low mana, is not going to be enough.
Top lane, trouble for Bombax, making his break through the tree lines. Caustic from Pasha, starting to do a lot more work. Pyro Strike is off cooldown, but it's not really a control creep the Chen brought to the lane. It's a Wild Wing Ripper. He needs to have a little bit more damage, something like a Sata, to make that fight work.
He doesn't have that many camps to work with, though. He missed the 4-minute stack on the camp that Pasha is with. Another one of his camps is blocked on the south side where the Bounty Rune is, so he doesn't have the choice of creeps. Having Wild Wing is not always what you want. Quap will get the haste rune, so things still looking pretty good in this early game.
Maybe that's when we start looking at the rotation timing for the Queen of Pain. And can she really afford to do that? Like when you've got no one looking... Well, I suppose no one's at level 6 yet. He doesn't really attack into the tower.
When you have a haste rune, you can do a lot. Haste rune is one of the best runes, I would say. Well, regen if you really need it, but in general, haste is the best kill rune.
Just to make that early rotation work. Pyro Strike up on top. X marks the spot's going to pull him back in, but the timing was wrong. The torrent doesn't connect, so Pasha, if he can just survive, he's got 10 stick charges available. Solo will move up, Sarge the lead seat over on the gyrocopter, just punched him down a little bit. Pasha still holding that Pyro Strike up, and which way does he want to go? He's blocked in by the illusions. The illusions will finally time out as Pasha, Pyro Strike, dodges the torrent of Boombox, and Solo, he can't give him living armor yet, but Pasha on 28 HP, surviving, turns around, one more attack, he'll take out Fly Solo, Lil's man with the double kill, but the Sonic Wave committal, and there is your haste rune. But Solo, invisible, he doesn't know where he is. The Scream is off cooldown now, but what are you going to do? Have a guesstimation? Not going to happen.
Use a scan. That might have been worth it to scan for the potential kill. But yeah, that's a pretty tough play to pull off right there.
He's underneath the Sentry Ward. The Observer Ward just got de-warded, so it's got to reveal it out, but he's trying to stay close enough that you Burrow Strike into Leech Seed. Solo not confident enough. He'll living armor and back out.
Well, it does drop another Observer Ward on the south side, so it will still have some vision of this area and some potential places for Chen to gank.
Bottom lane, Disruption. Torrent's going to connect as well, and this time it's going to be a Troll Warlord, a quick whirling blades as, well, that's not going to help. Or will it? To the trees and away. Phase Boots, he goes for the rune. Up for the river, sorry. The rune is the illusion rune. No one's coming up around the corner. Living armor will give that little bit extra life, but no one looking to try and turn and fight. Has his stun available. Takes a little bit too long, however. Especially when he gets pulled back. Already lost his Troll Warlord. Forces Dragon Form out. SD keeping reinforcements away. It's Solo who is nearby. And a really great maneuvering there from CG.
These kills are taking them way too long, though. The missed Torn on the top that would have led to an easy Pasha kill. Like if he had one more level in Torrent, let's say, that would have been an easy kill on the Troll. Because you need to kill him with the Torrent, or else you're going to get living armor afterwards. Like you can't living armor during the Torrent. You'll just get all your stacks taken off immediately. At least no towers have fallen yet.
Oh, the top one.
Okay, only one tower has fallen. At least it's only one.
Yeah, it's the issue of the top lane anyway. Like, how is Gyro meant to really defend against that?
Ooh, Soul Ring on Sand King.
Consistent spam. Built into Tranquils as well, and then going to go for the Blink Dagger.
I think it just, he wants to play a very fast pace.
They got a lot of stuns here. The Burrow Strike to start with up at the top. The climb to follow through into the epicenter, and Gabby, he knew his 8-1 charges would not be enough to save him. And that's that control arming you're looking for from Lil to have heavy impact.
Yep.
That's now mid lane. No one. 3-1 charges, up to 5. Torrent able to connect. Up he goes in towards the air. Sonic Wave, Living Armor, and the 1 charges. The Burrow Strike space creation. Even Chen is going to send him back. Means he'll get some bottle charges. X marks the spot as well, brought him back to the front lines. Queen of Pains had to disengage, already burn all of her 1 charges. The Torrent creates a little bit more space for Fly Solo. It was inevitable that he would fall. And the push continues into the mid lane.
They're just not getting as much mileage out of this quad that they would like. She's still doing very well, 3-0, but she wasn't able to keep the DK CS down. CS is actually leading the Queen of CS. Wasn't able to get that double kill on top, lost her tower, wasn't able to get the DK kill in mid, and they just need a little bit of extra damage. Their early game is suffering at the moment. Shadow, Demon, and Kunkka are both still level 3.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the Chen factor.
Yeah, the Chen can push issues a lot harder, but I'm still wondering, like, what was that combination meant to be? Like, you picked the Gyrocopter up very willingly. Like, normally the SD and Kunkka have something else like an Invoker in mid that will lend you a Sunstrike. You'll find your burst damage out from somebody else.
He's the safe lane team fighter that they want. What other safe laners can team fight a lot? I guess Face's Void is okay, but he's very long and cooldown. He doesn't actually do that much AoE damage. I think with Gyro, you have great opportunity to kill all the Chen creeps, which is good. Once you kill all the Chen armies once and stop one big tower push, then the game gets a lot easier, but they still haven't gotten to that point. But without the Gyrocopter, I would say they would have like almost no chance to do so. With the Gyrocopter, seems likely enough. They need Kunkka to get 6 though. That boat is going to be a big deal breaker in the team fights.
Right now, like, you're 9.5 minutes in and the Kunkka is not even 3.5 levels. Like,
yep.
Like, beyond problematic for a Kunkka. His early rotations were meant to help him, but both SD and Kunkka are just gimped on levels.
The ease of execution, you just miss one torrent like that in the top lane and your early game is almost ruined.
Solo wants a little bit of extra help. Living Armor to protect the bottom tower, which Queen of Pain is trying to force, and there's 4 heroes moving down. Thanks to the Observer Wall, they did scout that out. And this happens at the same time that Ramses leaves the lane. So Ramses has a TP scroll available. SK doesn't have his Blink Dagger up just yet. But it's still a big question mark. Like, do you try and defend your tier 1 tower? Living Armor is delaying Clutch's push, but you're not forcing the lane on the top yourself. But the split up is there. DK will come from behind onto mid. So Fly Solo, did they actually see him there? Yeah, they saw him there.
This tower push is taking forever.
Yeah. It's Solo. He's just interrupting it. Burn Fortification, burning all of his Living Armor charges.
I wonder what else they're getting out of the map right now. Just a little bit from Sand King. DK was just hanging around mid, so at the end of the day, it didn't really accomplish too much. I guess he was wasting 3 heroes' time for his 1.
It was Pasha's time as well to farm closer towards the Blink Dagger. He brought himself closer by about 800 gold during that push. And Clutch to commit 4 heroes to pressure that bottom tower. And you'll start to see that change come in the experience too. Like the experience the VP were gaining throughout that, they got very close to 4,000. The gold also pressed up to about 3,000. It dropped slightly in the gold just because the tower kill, and the experience because Clutch then cleaned up the waves that pushed into the towers. But overall, VP CS wise, looking pretty damn good. It's the Queen of Pain who's the top net worth at the moment.
They still don't have any dual damage on the LC though, and they were expecting a smoking. They scanned near the bottom rune to kind of see where LC was, but I don't actually know if you want Blink first on LC this game. I think that's gonna bite him in the ass. You're just heroes that are really difficult to duel. I think any of their heroes is very difficult to duel. Stinking is probably the easiest one, but DK, Dragon's Blood. You have to deal with Whirling Axes. You have to deal with Chen Heal. You have to deal with Chen Send Back. You have to deal with Leech Seed, Living Armor, Overgrowth. Like, there's so many things that I don't think you're going to get that clean of a fight, but maybe they just want someone to start off the fight for them so that they can drop all their ultimates after and just sacrifice the LC.
But if you have that, then you need to put Blade Mail on it. You need to have a little bit more life to work with on the LC. Maybe Silver Edge would have been the better way to try and break some of those passive abilities as well of VP.
Or Armlet. I think Armlet is a pretty common build just so you can tank up. He just needs to be a damage sponge. You're probably going to die in the fights, and you probably wish you didn't first pick LC, and you probably want to play like Tidehunter in this situation instead, rather, right? I think that's a little bit better for him, but like in this situation is really tough because VP are going to be grouped as 5 and pushing, as we see right now. I guess minus the troll, but like LC max overwhelming odds is incredibly good though at defending this sort of push though. That thing can do so much damage, like 2,000 damage total with just one cast.
Oh, they're going to try it. Big smoke up here from CG. Troll Warlord is still not in this fight, and he can't just TP over. He'll have to go to the shrine, then do the run. But at the same time, this fight is beginning just as the armlet from No One is completed. But his Dragon Form has only got a little bit longer left on it. The Torrent going to miss his target. Rampy also cannot get in close enough. Solo is standing very close by. So if he needs to overgrowth, he will be capable of doing so. And the double Mud Golems. So it's not just the 2 stuns, technically it's 6 stuns that Lil is holding on to on this bottom lane. And the Troll Warlord is now making his way up from behind.
It's going to be awkward though. Oh,
there's your first stun.
Breath.
Secondary stun able to connect as well. Gabby down to half-life. Solo into the trees as well. The Torrent will connect on No One, but Living Armor was already giving him a lot of life. And observe what in behind the tower. VP sees so much.
This is when you need a gatekeeper. Like, they can just walk up and hit. They don't even have a dragon form, they can still hit.
Oh, the blink forward just came out from Queen of Pain. The 4-man overgrowth into the spinning axe from Ramses. The cooldown will create a decent amount of space for Pasha. The Barra Strike, it'll kick back down, holding the Conqueror in position. But really, they haven't hit enough here. The duel will hold Pasha in position. And Virtus.Pro, they're bailing. Lil's TP, it's going to be in time. No One, however, not so lucky. Has armlet and 16 one charges. TP scroll is available for him, but he won't be able to survive. Surrounded by 5 heroes, tries to do as much damage before his own death. The Virtus.Pro, it looked like the initiation was great, but the follow-up was mediocre at best.
They didn't have a sinking ultimate, or sinking Blink Dagger rather. That would have been perfect for them.
Fly solo, bash, no.
That's one of those overgrowths you're like, wow, I can get 4 heroes right here, let's do it. And then you realize that it's a terrible decision because no one else can really do anything.
It just seemed better too because the Queen of Pain blinked into it. You're like, okay, there's no escape. All you need to do is just have a little bit of follow-up damage. But you're right, like whirling axes and then DK no dragon form level 2.
Yeah, it has to come from Epicenter, but
yeah,
as mentioned before,
the SK wandered around in the middle of the fight. What do I do then?
Yeah, that would have been so good to set up with Epicenter. They cast it boat at a really good time too, like shortly afterwards, so that no one could really die.
Yeah. Maybe that's also the other reason too why Pasha is now being sent up to the top lane. They try to give him the space for the Blink Dagger. He's sitting at 2.1k at the moment. And that gold difference is now being close. So Blink Dagger is now available for the Sand King.
I would say that VP still need to continue taking objectives, though. They do have the Vlads on the Trolls, so they can do Roach very, very soon. I do not see a Medallion, so it's still going to be a tough call, but their game plan is just keep team fighting and take objectives. Lil is going for the mech. Yeah, instead of Helmut Dom, let's say, or Midas even, you'll see sometimes on the Chen. So finally they get some dual damage up on all Rappy.
I'll take that.
Well, Kunkka using both to farm for the moment.
They just need to keep the waves pushed. Like, looking at the minimap, no T1s are up. So if they can keep the waves past the river, they're in a pretty good spot because then they'll just have plenty of time to react to these pushes and slow down the game. If your objective, if you're clutch right now, is to slow down the pacing of VP. Like, make it so that they have to think twice about taking Roche, make them think twice about pushing a T2, or if they do push a T2, just make them invest a lot of resources, like have the 2 side lanes pushed in, or get a lot of stacking and farming and some chip damage on the towers, or just simply stall and kill the creep wave so that they're just wasting their time there. And Pasha is geared up. Oh my goodness, this could be bad. They have the Epicenter at the ready.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for Virtus.Pro. They have the Observer and Sentry down as well. The smoke just a little bit out of range just allow them to close the distance, but no one under the cover of an Invis rune is just waiting for a perfect initiation. And what do you want to do it on? It's the Shadow Demon. They don't want to have that defensive disruption. Combining up with the Epicenter, the SD will fall quickly, but here comes the ship, plus the cooldown. The duel is holding the tree and Protector in position, so they can't find that kill, but the Whirling Axe from Ramses stop those missed chances. VP not liking this fight just yet. X mark spot wants to pull him back over. It does bring Troll Warlord in. Breathe Fire hits heavily into Gabby as Pasha So much space created with these Burrow strikes time and time again, but both sides only losing a support.
Wow, Quap just got her Yules off right before the Epicenter came out. That could have been so much worse for Clutch. The Shadow Demon died immediately, but Pasha had a hard decision there. He could either blink strike into the Gyro and the Kunkka, or he could get the Quap.
They're coming to fight. Rappy doesn't have his duel available, so no one goes to the quick stun. TP support is on its way, and that's in the form of that Troll Warlord. He'll come up in the middle here, and CG smart to start the spinning axes, but no. Hold him out for the moment. Disruption, just stopping the Troll Warlord. Pasha looking for another Burrow strike. Hides underneath the Sandstorm, but dust up very early on. Boombox trying to still fight this one. It's a good turn to a double ship, hitting both Lil as well as the SK, and they can start their duel again. A Yule Scepter sending the DK out of this fight. The Breathe Fire, the damage may be there. The Legion Commander is actually the one to die, as Lil was able to put that new fresh mech into work. They want more. Fly solo, defensive disruption, just trying to create a little bit of space and time for the rest of his retreating teammates. But the Gyrocopter, not lucky, doesn't have a TP scroll available, needs to do his run out in the bottom lane. Pasha already gave the Burrow strike to cancel that one off, and Gabby with the lead seat, not enough movement speed. No one will hit him with the Breathe Fire. And Clutch Gamers, it was a 1-for-1 trade-off in the fight in the mid. They forced the issue, and Virtus.Pro answered the call.
Wow, what a great living armor coming out from Solo. He did it right as the duel was cast, and they didn't have enough burst to kill the Sand King. And Sand King has a nice and pretty +10. But the way that VP are taking the fights, they're just letting DK be up in front. He was at critical HP, 20% HP, got sent back home, and then TP back onto the shrine and just destroyed them. And you cannot kill that person twice.
They found a tree. Now, you did get the Observer Ward down from Solo. Yeah, it's not going to survive. A quick sentry ward, even planted so they could see Solo in case he went invis. Undoes all of his hard work and sacrifice.
Ramsey's potentially setting up for a kill onto Rappy on top, but Rappy senses it out and will blink away. So I like how aggressive Clutch are being. And they have to be a little bit more careful now that the sinking blink has been revealed and he's closing in upon level 12, but they're pushing out the lane very, very aggressively. They're sticking together as a ball, but not clumping up to get destroyed by the AoE ultimates, and they're fighting them head on instead of split pushing and giving them free towers and free objectives. That's exactly what you do not want to do. Do not give VP anything for free.
Yep. And VP have had to work very, very hard for this. Pasha, you can see how fearful he is. Walks in close on Fly Solo, and that's just for the bounty rune. But he sandstorms instantly, Burrow strikes away straight after. And this was a two-man push they were starting with. And Boombox is in the neighborhood. But that all started off with Queen of Pain just forcing the lane out, pushing closer and closer towards this rushed Aghanim Scepter. So you went for the Yules to begin, and now in 300 gold time, she'll have the full fresh Ags.
Ags, I think, is a good choice here. We haven't seen it too often. It's been a lot of like Veil Blade Mail, I would say, but with the Ags, that's even more oomph to their team fight. Boat, flat cannon, and call down with an Ags Scream is going to be enough to wipe out the entire creep wave army, and ideally for Clutch, most of VP's heroes. Nice escape by Rappy.
Well, you talked about that counter push. Like, how do you make sure the Chen creeps go down? Hand of God, mech. Having the ability to spam your ultimate. That's nice, Pasha. Already uses Burrow Strike and doesn't find the Kunkka.
It's always a battle of, do you have enough AoE to kill them, or do you have enough HP and saves to save all your creeps? And they're still trying to fight it out right now. And Clutch, with that little bit of extra scepter, though, I think that might give them the edge in these upcoming team fights.
That's some really good ward positioning as well. Clutch is seeing VP coming from a mile away. They understand when those fresh wards get planted down. That's why they went and just de-warded on the bottom as, well, you can start your duel, bottom lane. The SK, well, difficult to kill him. Into the Sandstorm he goes. Living Armor, the protective barrier that stops Rappy from getting any of this real big plus duel damage. Fresh Sentry is on the ground, but already Clutch Gamers are backing out.
Scepter complete, though. I think it's time for them to go. Yeah, duel is down, but LC, I don't think is a super important hero in the team fights. Just need to spam overwhelming odds. I say overwhelming odds is more important than duel.
It's just taken so much time for them to get to this point. Like, no one's completed his BKB as well as his armlet. You got the Troll Warlord, who went in for this casual Yasha with Vlad's and then went straight for the BKB. And he's only one more camp away from having it too. So the next engagement, you can have two 10-second BKBs arriving from the two highest net worths of Virtus.Pro.
That's a scary prospect. However, you still do have the potential to burst them down really heavily. Like Queen of Pain Ultimate at level 18, she's fairly close. It's 555 pure. That's like almost half of Troll's HP. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it is a lot of damage.
The dire scan for Roshan. It's not happening for the moment. A haste rune in for the Queen of Pain, who blinked in closer towards the pip. You see Virtus.Pro's line being drawn. Pasha starts his own TP up to the tier 1. And VP, they bring everyone. They bring a 5-man lineup. Welcome to your third 10-second BKB. That's going to come into Gabby. So the Gyrocopter not pumping up the damage. And GC, where are they going? It's like they're looking for the Roshan attempt from Virtus.Pro. What they're going to find is the Courier, which is carrying the BKB of Ramses. But actually, no, they're too slow for that as well. So the Courier's got the movement speed to reach the Radiant side. Delivers and then goes west, which is exactly where the team is coming. The Courier doesn't see any of them though. Won't break the smoke. And Virtus.Pro, now you ask the question, where the hell are they coming from? Clutch have managed to go for the full wraparound into the back of Virtus.Pro. Now the Chen army, it'll reveal the target. The jump forward, the stun, it's over on Rappy. He'll be brought down. The epicenter from Pasha, able to do the work as well. The slow on the Gyrocopter, he can't go anywhere. The route was perfect from the Tree Protector. Sonic Wave comes out, but minimal damage. Lil's being protected. Gabby already knows this is a lost fight. TP's himself back home, but the issue is he left teammates. He's left the SD who just gets bashed out. And CG lose the tier 2 tower plus 3 heroes, all of which do not have buyback available.
They just jumped them way too early on in the fight, and BKBs I think came as a complete surprise to them. And VP already knocking on the high ground. Push the key to their strategy, and
this is the dream scenario for that Chen lineup. No big danger. You're 25 minutes in. You've already taken down a tier 3 tower. Shrines open up for you. So does the top racks. No one actually standing his ground to fight here. He can BKB and TP if he really wants to. I think that's what he was waiting for. The duel will begin, but Legion commanded the Sonic Wave as well. They have enough damage, and Legion now goes to plus 34 in the damage talent. But it comes at a hefty cost.
That's a nice catch though. But yeah, as you mentioned, the hefty cost is them losing 2 of their towers on top and access to their shrines potentially if VP can get there.
They're coming to push the tier 1 tower. Now DK doesn't have buyback himself, and there's no D push from Virtus.Pro. Epicenter is down. The Troll Warlord's not really in a position where he can man mode against CG.
Yeah, you really want to defend this tower though. It makes Roshan defense much easier, and if they can repel this, they can just heal it back up with living armor.
Pasha's visible.
It's not a sunken cost for them.
He's right on top of the obs, and you got duel in 3 seconds time. Rampy times this perfectly. He can catch out Pasha. You can see him itching for it. As close as he can get. Blink up, starts the blade melt. There goes the duel. You've just lost the SK, and with him, you've lost the tier 1 tower in mid. Ramses is too far forward. He'll get perched up, had the BKB to be defensive about it, as Solo keeps running away. Now you let the Troll Warlord ulti go. Couple of hits, Lil will be able to nuke him down. Solo holding the rest of Clutch Gamers in position. A good overgrowth, and the DK wants more to fight with, and he may actually have it. The Conquer will fall. Blink Dagger's coming off cooldown in a second, and with these 2 heroes down, VP can now look towards Roshan.
And they saved their T1 tower. That's a pretty hefty cost in losing to Sand King very early on in the fight, but he didn't expect that they had vision on that side.
The team fight's pretty balanced. 4-3-8 to 4-8-4 for the gold. Experience is almost nothing. So Virtus.Pro are going to be happy with this. You've now got extra items to help you push high ground. 1, the Aegis Immortal. 2, a full pipe of insight just got completed for Lil as well.
It's very concerning though if you can't win a team fight when the DK was down for the majority of it and you picked off the Sand King at the start of the fight. So that was almost a straight 4-on-5. But just they had to commit the Quap ultimate as well to the dual kill, which certainly did not bode well for the later part of the engagement. And now you have the Chen with his team fight items. You have the arcade mech and the pipe.
Yeah.
Like, I think the pipe's a huge deal here.
The fact he also got through that last engagement without using the Hand of God. So you've still got the regeneration to push. Rams is getting stronger now. SMY done. He hits a flat 2,000 for his HP. Lee Solo can be a little bit fun with him, as if he can live through this. He stole the regeneration in Ramses. That's a nice lucky batch for him. Hits into the SD, so SD will fall. Pasha was in the neighborhood, so there wasn't really a way SD would survive that, but it's the mid lane where Kunkka and his DK was given that battle trance to have the attack speed. So the tier 2 tower will fall in the mid. The shrines have not both been taken out. You've still got the one in the northern jungle of the Dire side, but they smoke up, and DK hunting in the Frost Dragon form, pushing into the melee racks. Mid lane's close enough, so backdoor regeneration not playing a part in this just yet. A quick sentry ward, but they want to fight. Observers are down as well, so they see deep into the CG base. But the damage, again, done well. VP now just have to bail out this one. They don't want to fight. They are pretty strong to engage. In fact, that's exactly what they'll do. The epicenter of the back line, catching on the supports with the overgrowth. You've lost two. The ship, it comes way too late. It's more of a tourist trip, looking at the corpses of CG. Pushing up the daisies. A quick Eul Scepter and blink out as, well, no. Eul Scepter sends him back up, and GG again. Sub 30 minutes for this game, and Clutch will lose their first game in this group stage to Virtus.Pro in a 2-0 victory.
I would say that CG saw the push coming with their draft, but I think the first pick actually was very devastating to what they wanted to do. Like, I think Quap had a pretty good game, and Gyro kind of did what he could, but Gyro still probably a little bit weak at the moment in terms of his tier power, but yeah, the LC just could not get her feet off the ground at all, as opposed to Pasha. Pasha like did a lot of solo kill, or not solo kill, but pressured the Gyrocopter a lot,